Hello everyone, this is part 1 of What If Naruto Was Betrayed and Let His Anger Out. This story is made by Messenger of Darkness, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. As of today, Uzumaki Naruto is under arrest and sentenced for life at the Konoha facility. The words rang in his ears. Under arrest. For what? On what charges? Asked Kakashi, one of the three people standing up for him. Konoha, is this spelled right? Glared down at him. He is charged for treason and letting the Otonin in through our gates. A murmur of assent was heard throughout the crowd. And what proof is there? Tsunade asked. We have a witness. Uchiha Sasuke. Where is he? The cry came from a villager. The QB brat is gone. And so he was. He had quickly traveled back to his apartment, and gotten his ninja gear, then set out to get away from Konoha. After traveling for about an hour, Naruto stopped and made camp. He laid down and cried for a long time. After traveling for several hours, Naruto stopped. It was the middle of the night and he had traveled since noon. He ate a few berries and herbs he had found and then laid down to rest. Help. Naruto got up and ran to the noise. In a clearing there was a red light. Naruto looked in. There was a single ninja without a headband was fighting several ninja from what appeared to be Takagakure village hidden behind a waterfall, and them with his hands and a sword equivalent in size to Zabuza's. The clearing was drowned in yet the man had none on him. He finished off the last ninja and then used a wind jutsu to suck the bee into a vortex. He then sat down on a log and looked straight at Naruto. If you're another waterfall tracker ninja, then I suggest you leave. Naruto walked out of the trees he was hiding in. Who are you? He asked, though he felt that this person was familiar, though he had never met him before. A mirthless laugh escaped the man's lips. I am known by many names, but my preferred one is Jon Aza Mesike. I know about you too, Uzumaki Naruto. The one who defeated the mighty Gaara. The one who mastered the Rasengan after a week or two of training. You have a large reputation, and a large bounty on your head. Naruto jumped to attention. The man, Jon Aza, laughed in the same, horrible way. Don't worry. I'm not after it. I wouldn't be able to spend it, even if I was. I'm wanted in almost all of the countries. I'm heading towards Kirigakure, one of two that doesn't want my head. I love my life. These last words were said with a bitter tone. Why are you going to that bee village? And what's the other village that doesn't want your head? Jon Aza replied, I'm going there to meet my good friend, Momoki Zabuza. And the other village is yours, Konoha. Naruto said, it is not my village anymore. I was framed for letting Sound Ninja into the village. I fled before the trial was over, then traveled. Then I heard the battle you were in. At this point Jon Aza snorted, and came here to see what was happening. Then you sat on that log and looked at me. Jon Aza looked sorrowful. That, after all you and your father did to help that village. Naruto grabbed this piece of information. Did you know my father? Who was he? I know him by reputation. Judging from your appearance, I guess your father was the fourth Hokage of Konoha village. Naruto reeled back a few paces, an impressive feat, seeing as he was sitting down, and then looked excited. Really? Naruto asked. Jon Aza nodded. Naruto examined him more closely. He had striking black eyes and black hair. He had the look of someone who is haunted, someone who has seen too much. His eyes had the tired look, like Itachi's, though not as pronounced. On his right hand he had a claw. If you have played Kingdom Hearts 1 then it looks exactly like Cloud's except the brown part is black. The skin was black. Jon Aza sighed. I'm tired. My life, since the second I was born, has been awful. I've contemplated several times, but then he would Jon Aza looked at Naruto. We are alike, you and I, demon vessels, warriors, doomed to fight in the next demon war. Whoa, did you say demon vessels? Are you one? How did you know I was one? Jon Aza's eyes burned into Naruto. Yes, I did. We should stick together, you and I. We would make a great team. Another humorless laugh ripped out of his mouth. Last time. We should stick together, you and I. Another humorless laugh tore out of his mouth. Naruto looked at Jon Aza. They had been traveling together for a few weeks. He had promised to train Naruto, but hadn't as of yet. He also had worn the same black outfit, not the same one, several that looked the same, the whole time. Naruto was getting fed up. Are you going to train me, or what? Naruto said it before he could stop himself. He cringed, then looked up. Jon Aza sighed, then said, I guess it's time then. Come here, and bring that chopped log. They had been using a chopped section of tree as a table. Naruto dragged the log over to him. Now, you have seen my sword, right? It was a beautiful weapon. The hilt was the same as Zabuza's, the blade was the same size, and it had a crossguard shaped like a demon bat's wings. However, where Zabuza's sword was curved at the top, Jon Aza's went into a sail-shaped triangle. This is a demon's weapon. This type of sword can only be made by the demon vessels of my clan. Now, if you want, I can make you one, Jon Aza said. Naruto practically exploded. Are you serious? That's awesome. That's the coolest sword I've ever seen. Jon Aza smiled. I know. Now, put your hands on the log. Naruto did as instructed. Now, call on the Kyuubi's chakra. Again, Naruto did as asked. Jon Aza grimaced. Now, this is the hard part. It will hurt, so be prepared. Naruto nodded, and started to think of Konoha, and his old friends. Jon Aza placed one of his hands over Naruto's, then made a series of seals with the other. Demonic Blade Conjuring. Kyuubi 9 Tails. A large flash of light appeared, and intense pain ran through both of the participants in the event. Jon Aza was grimacing like you've never seen someone grimace, and Naruto was screaming. An explosion, exploded, and they both were knocked out. 2 hours later, Naruto woke with the sun shining on his face. The smell of wet grass wafted through the air. Jon Aza was gone. May as well get up, Naruto thought. And then he saw the sword. It was a sword, identical to Jon Aza's, except instead of wings, it had large claws as the crossguard and, instead of the katafa, wolf, it was the katafa fox. Naruto tried to pick it up but spikes flew from the handle and the sword leaped to Jon Aza's hand. I should have told you that the sword would only reply to me until I put an owner technique on it. Come here. Naruto came and Jon Aza see his hand, Naruto's hand, with a kunai. He then wiped the bee on the sword. It glowed red, then returned to normal. Here, Jon Aza held the sword out to Naruto. Now we need to work on your style. You're physically strong, as well as fast and you have an analytical mind. I think the style I practice will be good. It focuses on using taijutsu to distract the enemy, and then K the enemy with the sword quickly. Now, do as I say. 2 more weeks later. In the weeks, Naruto had advanced quickly. Jon Aza was a fantastic teacher, though a bit strict. He could hold his own against Jon Aza, and was rapidly getting better. Every day, he and Jon Aza would run 20 miles, and then spar, then Jon Aza would teach Naruto in ninjutsu somewhat. Then they would move on to the dangerous stuff. Jon Aza taught Naruto how to utilize the demon chakra in his sword, then he would teach him how to use it raw. Naruto had the same claw as Jon Aza did. Jon Aza said that if you use the chakra raw then the hand you channel through turns into a demonic claw. Got the idea for a claw from Vincent Valentine, Cloud Strife in KH1, and Claw the Demonic, a DC comic character. Naruto and Jon Aza are both right-handed, so their claws are on their right hands. He could create demon chakra Razingans, plain demon chakra balls to hurl at an opponent, and create ninja weapons with chakra. He was currently trying to learn how to transform into his demon's form. Jon Aza had demonstrated how, no pun intended, and then told Naruto how to do it. You call on the demon's chakra and then, using only their chakra, use transformation technique to turn into the demon. Except, if you use only the demon's chakra, you will turn into the demon and have a miniature version of their abilities. This is only to be used as a last resort, like Sasuke's Chidori was. However, when you unlock this vessel ability, your healing factor multiplies nearly 3 times. Now, I'm going to go down to the village nearby to get some supplies. Tell you what, master this technique by tonight and I give you double rations and no weights while you eat and sleep for 3 days. Naruto thought, damn it, I'll never master this technique by tonight. Well, might as well keep on trying. 3 hours later, sunset. Are you finally back? It's been almost 5 hours. Naruto was tired, hungry, and impatient. Jon Aza looked surprised at this outburst. Yes, I am, and I brought food and clothes. Also, I bought a strange new kind of weights that puts the same amount of pressure of the normal kind, but the wearer cannot feel the weight added, so you can sleep with weights, sleep just as well, and make your body stronger. Naruto stood agape. He had said that he would be able to sleep without weights, and here he was saying he couldn't. Jon Aza laughed at Naruto's face. I'm kidding. How could you make a weight like that? It's impossible. Did you master the technique? Naruto nodded eagerly, looking forward to Jon Aza's ramen. It was almost as good as Ichiraku's. Since I trust you, I'll let you have double servings and no weight for the rest of today. But you'll have to work hard tomorrow. Naruto had progressed beyond imagining. His swordsmanship was amazing, his chakra control rapidly getting better. In taijutsu and swordsmanship he could hold his own against Jon Aza for nearly an hour. He had learned 3 new jutsu and had even taught Jon Aza how to perform the Rasengan. Naruto, thanks to his increased control, could now perform it with one hand. He was getting tired though. They had been traveling, only sleeping for 3 or 4 hours at the most so they could travel. But Jon Aza had a recipe so that even with only 3 to 4 hours of sleep, you felt completely rested. So that way they could travel towards Kirigakure and train Naruto at the same time. However, because of Naruto's long training regimen, they were taking a very long time to get there. However, they might cover a bit more ground today since Jon Aza is merely going to give Naruto a demonstration of the things he should be able to master by the end of 2 years, the amount of time that Jon Aza guessed that it would take Konoha to figure out that Naruto was innocent. Now, Naruto, pay close attention to every seal I perform. This, if you pay attention, will help you more than I ever could. I will perform several jutsu you may be familiar with, but I will also perform several of my own. I am going to create a few shadow doppelgangers to fight against. Now watch. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. An. If I know the Japanese name I'll use it. A doppelganger appeared, then vanished. Naruto watched, then noticed something. Jon Aza's eyes were shut. Kirigakure Jutsu. A thick fog rolled in, yet Naruto could see everything. Fire Earth style, meteor technique. Several meteors appeared out of the sky, heading towards a tree. One of the Jon Azas jumped out, leaving the tree to burn. He then made a series of seals, tiger, horse, boar, dog, dragon, monkey, rooster, then repeat X3, then S his hands into the ground. Earth style, flowering earth spikes technique. Several spikes, only about 2 feet high, rapidly rose out of the ground, heading towards the other Jon Aza. But, when they reached near him, the spikes rose in height to almost 10 feet. Naruto could tell that, if caught in the torrent of spikes, one would either be impaled or thrown into the air to fall to the death. The Jon Aza who had been targeted by the technique ran along the spikes, pulling out his sword as he did. He leaped up, swinging the blade downwards, but the other one parried, and then swung upwards using his left hand while also striking with the claw. The other Jon Aza, the one who didn't use the spikes, leapt away, put his sword into the scabbard on his back, the swords are in scabbards not just hanging in midair like Zabuza's did, and went through a few seals. Lightning style, multiple lightning strike technique. Around the blue Jon Aza, the one who used the spikes, calling him this to avoid confusion, several lightning bolts struck the ground nearby, moving closer to blue the whole time. The blue Jon Aza made a few seals, just before a lightning strike hit it. But blue was still there. Water style, mist blade technique. Red Jon Aza, the other one, suddenly got several holes in his body. However, they healed almost instantly. Red smirked. B style, multiple wound technique. Blue was suddenly as if by multiple swords, then puffed out of existence, proving that he was the doppelganger. Jon Aza grinned, rare, this. Guess I went a little overboard. Well, did you see any techniques you didn't know, Naruto? Naruto pretended to think about it, then said, I didn't know any but the first. Those were awesome. The spikes, the lightning, the meteors, all of it. Can you teach me? PPPLLLEEAAASSSEE. Jon Aza frowned at this. I would, but these techniques lack very large chakra resources, and the only reason I was able to perform them all is because I've had the big lump inside me give me a small chakra leak for the past, about 18 years, and Jon Aza is 28. Naruto is 15. With my normal chakra, if I hadn't used the leak, I would have only been able to perform one of those techniques. I heard the lump comment and I am not amused, a gruff voice said. Naruto swiveled around. Where did that come from? Jon Aza chuckled. The hairball I mentioned when we first met. The Lord and Master of the Winged Wolves, Wolfing. He's actually a lot friendlier than he sounds. He taught me all the vessel techniques and helped me on a few of my original techniques like the Spikes 1 and the Multiple Wound 1, as darkness and earth are his elements. He is my, in a way, QB. I'm not a hairball either. Yes you are. Not. Enough. Naruto yelled. Now, what are the elements you talked about? Jon Aza looked surprised. Surely you know about them. There are 8 main elements: fire, ice, wind, lightning, water, earth, light, and darkness. There are also minor elements, like metal from earth, mist from water, and shadow from darkness. I am a master of 3, fire, earth, and darkness. I'm pretty good at water, wind, ice, and lightning, but at light, he shuddered here. Ugh. I'm just not good at light. It crawls into all places, getting rid of the shadows. But, then creating more shadows. It is the hypocritical element. Naruto was getting that dawning look on his face. I kind of get it, but that thing about light. Don't worry. You won't learn any light techniques under my tutelage. Your element is, I think, wind. So, the seals for the spikes are, see above, and the words are, earth style, flowering earth spikes technique. Try it. Naruto used the jutsu, and the spikes came, but they weren't as high, but close and they didn't go as far. Naruto suddenly felt very weary. 2 hours later. About time you woke up. I was right, earth isn't your element. It would seem that it isn't wind either. You wouldn't have been able to use that technique if it was. No, it is lightning. I think. Come on, I have a technique for you to try. Naruto groaned. His head was pounding, he felt extremely tired, and was in pain. Well, do you want a new technique or not? Evil Jon Aza. He had found Naruto's weakness already. Naruto jumped up to follow him. Now, this technique doesn't take as much chakra as the others. It is a lightning technique. Watch. He made 3 seals. Lightning orb technique. A blue orb appeared in front of Jon Aza, shooting of blue lightning bolts. Cool. Naruto proclaimed. Let me try. He made the seals, then yelled, lightning orb technique. The orb appeared, but it was smaller than Jon Aza's, only about the size of a baseball, compared to Jon Aza's beach ball. Naruto sighed. Don't be depressed, that was excellent for a first time. Your element really is lightning. So that is what I will train you in. I guess, he ran his hand through his hair, we shall head to Kumogakur. And it is there that we shall train. Well, this is interesting. Jon Aza and Naruto were surrounded by cloud jonins. However, no swords were drawn. Jon Aza made some seals. Circular rising earth technique. A ring of earth was raised, carrying the cloud nin. Naruto leaped up. He had changed. He was becoming more sullen and angry as well as very slowly turning emotionless. Imagine 2 years later, 6 months with a guy who only feels hatred, annoyance, and the very rare twinge of humor, usually sick or fake, does that to you. Physically, he now looked like he did in the part fox form, due to his training with the demon vessel abilities, the only difference being that he didn't have the extended whisker marks. He also had grown to almost as tall as Jon Aza, almost 6 feet. His range of jutsu had massively increased, even teaching Jon Aza the seals for Chidori, and, in my story, Reikiri means, lightning mist, not lightning blade, because Kiri means mist and Rai means lightning, then helped him to figure out how to do it. Jon Aza then taught Naruto how to perform a new technique. Started by forming a Chidori, the user then creates a hollow Rasengan around the Chidori. Jon Aza mixed this with a few of his clan's original techniques, Rage Inferno Strike and Rage Blizzard Strike, to create an even more powerful technique, which he called either 1000 Flaming Spiraling Birds, 1000 Spiraling Birds is Rasengan plus Chidori, so plus Inferno Strike makes 1000 Flaming Spiraling Birds. Same equation for 1000 Frozen Spiraling Birds, but replace Inferno Strike with Blizzard Strike, or 1000 Frozen Birds. Back to the fight. Naruto jumped up, pulling out his sword. He quickly KO'd the Cloud Ninja. He landed next to Jon Aza, who looked bored. A man in yellow cage robes was underneath his foot. Naruto freaked out. Is that the? Yep. It's the rakeage. The old one was more of a challenge. The whelp must be new. Jon Aza kicked the body. Ah well. Good job. I didn't expect you to be able to K them that quickly. Naruto felt a pang. He was able to K them, but it hurt. He wouldn't be the same afterwards, ever. Jon Aza seemed to notice. Get that pang. That happened to me the first time I K. Naruto looked at him. What happened? Flashback. There's the demon. K it. A small boy lay hunched in the dim light of an alleyway in evening. He had several C along his arms and 2 black eyes. Please. The boy begged, please don't hurt me. A man threw a knife at the boy, hitting him in the back and then kicked him. You deserve to be hurt, you damn piece of trash. The man picked the boy up and threw him at a wall. He hit the wall, and then fell to the ground, coughing up B. The people crowded around him, kicking C and S the boy. The first man picked the boy up, then drop-kicked him to the end of the alley, following him and followed it up with a jaw-breaking upper C. Take that, you damn demon. The mob roared. An arrow hit the boy in the leg. That's for the demon. A second arrow hit him. That was for fun. A knife impaled his shoulder. That's for you. Another knife hit him in the other shoulder. And that's for your whole damn demon spawned of AS family. Something snapped. The boy looked up. The man, who was about to throw the third knife, this time between the boy's eyes shuddered. The boy had looked up. His eyes were pure red. No whites, no colors, no pupil, nothing. You can hurt me, beat me, punch me, kick me, throw knives at me, but do not insult my family. A sword made of demon fire appeared. The boy charged. Exactly 8 seconds later, 50 or so corpses were littered across the alley. The boy was B, but they were S. He had paid back the main abuses. He limped towards a building. End flashback. Naruto gazed at him in shock. And I thought I had it bad, he muttered. Jon Aza laughed bitterly. Now you see why I left the waterfall. Unlike you, there was no law protecting me other than not to K me, as they thought I would become the greatest weapon of that village. They even gave Kakazu, this is spelled right, to train me. He was kind and caring, even though he was a bit greedy. Naruto gaped. That bastard joined Akatsuki. After I left Taki. I hated that place. I then went to Iwa, then Suna, then Kiri. I knew Zabuza and he was the strongest they had, so they welcomed me. Naruto gaped, doing a lot of this, ain't he? Isn't Zabuza S? Not anymore. I saw Orochimaru use Impure World Summoning and improved it, making it so you don't need AS. Zabuza and Haku are safe in the mist. Naruto looked happy for the first time in weeks. They were my first friends. I'm glad they're safe. Jon Aza laughed, a real one for once. That's good, because the next stop is Kirigakure village, or the village hidden in the B mist. That's good, because the next stop is Kirigakure, or the village hidden in B mist. Jon Aza's words rang in Naruto's ears even though they had been uttered 2 weeks ago. They were about 5 minutes away from Kirigakure, and rapidly advancing. Hey Jonaza. I finally found you. Jon Aza stopped and groaned. Not her, not now. Who is she? Naruto asked. An annoyance, and a slight help once in a while. A girl, well-built, blonde, and short for her age, which looked to be about Naruto's, with a katana on her back materialized in front of them. Why are you always like that? Always, sir. The world is going to blow up tomorrow, she huffed, putting her hands on her hips and blowing a strand of hair out of her eyes. If you had seen half the stuff I had, you'd be like this too, Jon Aza muttered. He turned to Naruto. It's up to you, can she stay? Naruto examined her a little bit, then nodded. Sure. She looked annoying, but her grin reminded him of his old self. The girl beamed. I'm Kira, by the way. First-class medic, genjutsu user. Jon Aza leaned over to Naruto's ear and whispered, blonde. Naruto laughed while the girl huffed. Then she smirked and said, you're just jealous. Well, are we heading to Kirigakure or what? They quickly resumed travel. 2 minutes later they were there. Jon Aza Mesike with Sword's friends. The guards at the gate yelled back, proceed sir. Jon Aza turned to Kira and Naruto. Get on my back. We're passing the Kaguya S, and I don't want you see that. Kira pointed. We would, but there's a sharp thing already there. Don't worry. Now, get on. They did. A black orb surrounded by multicolored chakra beams. Is this the darkness of his soul? The thought came to Naruto suddenly. What a horrible life he must lead. They appeared in a small room. A man at the desk in the room sighed. If you want to visit, Zabuza and Haku are outside the door. Jon Aza grinned. But this is more fun. Anyway, I need a favor to ask. We three, he indicated Kira, Naruto, and himself, need a home. Since the swordsmen of the mist have pretty much I thought we could join. The man sighed. It's possible, but you need the test. All right, what is it? 27 minutes later, 1:56 p.m. So we have to fight him. The man, the Mizukage, as a side note, nodded. Jon Aza looked at the man. Well, what are we waiting for? The rules. The first one to fall unconscious or loses. Begin. Naruto examined the man Jon Aza would fight. He was tall, about 18, and carried a curio sword. It was the same as a normal katana, but with 2 blades and one of everything else. The man drew his sword and vanished. Jon Aza smirked. He spun around, drawing his sword into a parrying position. The ring of metal on metal rang out. Jon Aza leaped into the air, putting his sword into his teeth and making a rapid set of hand seals. The other man, let's call him Lirenian, leaped up after him. Jon Aza, with no time to parry, swung his claw downward, parrying the blow. Then, using the momentum, leaped higher and took his sword from his mouth. They engaged in a high-speed battle. He's going to lose. Naruto looked to his right. Zabuza was watching the battle with intense eyes. The very reason his sword style was created was to defeat styles like ours. They use lightweight swords, unlike our large ones, to slip through the opponent's defenses. His sword is twice as strong and almost as light. I also happen to know that Jon Aza forged that particular sword when he was experimenting. He gave it to the previous Mizukage as a gift, but he was and the sword taken by Lirenian. I am psychic. It is incredibly powerful, and increases the power of the wielder near tenfold. It also has a secret ability according to Jon Aza, but I haven't seen it. Naruto and Kira looked at him in wonder. Haku quickly said, Jon Aza and Zabuza were best friends until 7 years ago, when we lost contact. Naruto did the math in his head. But that means Jon Aza was only 13 at the time. Zabuza smiled. True, but I am only 25. We were both young geniuses. What a curse. Okay, since the author is bored explaining, back to the fight. Jon Aza and the man were swinging swords at incredible speeds, but Jon Aza had more C on his face. However, Lirenian was close to him, which suited Jon Aza. He swung his sword quickly into Jon Aza's side and leaped away. Jon Aza, holding his side, propelled himself towards the other, swinging his sword to the left side while striking with his claw on the right. Lirenian drew out a scroll and conjured another sword of the same making, but presumably without the ability. However, it seemed it would make all the difference. He parried, and then leapt away. Jon Aza, soaring towards him, flicked his wrist and, Fala, another sword appeared. They engaged, moving at such speeds that the human could not see, unless it was trained. As everyone's there was. Zabuza smirked. However, Jon Aza conquered our style in less than a year, therefore he had 1 more year to increase his speed. Not to mention the 7 years up until now, therefore he will quite possibly be able to match Lirenian's speed. There was a flash, and Jon Aza and Lirenian both flew backwards. Lirenian's second sword disappeared, as did Jon Aza's. Jon Aza went through a rapid set of hand seals. His sword stared glowing blue. Jon Aza's sword usually has a black blade with a red edge, and Naruto's is the same except a blue edge instead of red. Also, to avoid confusion, Jon Aza is not black. The skin on the hand where he has the claw is. And yes, I mean real black, not dark brown. Also, to describe the claw better, the fingers are mostly made of a golden claw. Oh, skip it, go to. Organ search cloud strife. Look at the one of him with a wing, you see the claw, it's like that. He flew towards Lirenian, swinging the sword. Lirenian placed both hands on the hilt of his sword. It started to flash yellow, then an aura, electric blue flashed around it. He pointed the tip at Jon Aza. A burst of electricity rocketed towards him. Jon Aza swung his sword forwards, a burst of chakra cancelling the electricity. Jon Aza started to spin. Mesike basic spiral. A stream of red wind surrounded him, as he turned seemingly into a laser, traveling at a speed near impossible to dodge. He connected with Lirinian, going straight through him. He landed by the Mizukage. You should get him to a hospital. He might not wake up otherwise. The Mizukage nodded. A group of missed Mizukage's important strike task, the equivalent of Konoha's Anbu, took him away. He turned to Jon Aza. You are in the swordsmen. Jon Aza nodded. Good. Can they join automatically? Naruto is nearly as strong as I was 6 years ago, and she is a valuable medic nin and genjutsu user. Physical fighting isn't her field, though she's not bad. The Mizukage rubbed his temples. If you have that opinion, then they must be good. Alright, I guess from now on it is the 5 swordsmen of the mist. Lirinian will still be in mist, but not a member of the swordsmen. Haku can get his blade. But do you know someone who knows that style? Jon Aza pointed at Kira. She's the daughter of the person who invented it. She can teach him. Kira nodded. Come on. She and Haku vanished. Now then, what missions will we have? Mostly A rank, maybe a few B. The rare S rank every now and then. And the often A+ ranked mission. Jon Aza smirked. Finally. All I've had the past 2 years are the occasional assassination that any normal Mist or Anbu or Safu, Special Attack Force unit, the Anbu of Takagakure, could pull off. Besides my own schedule of sneaking into villages and stealing techniques. You and Konoha are the only ones I haven't visited. You because you gave me your techniques, and after visiting back I was going to head to Konoha. I've had a busy 9 years since I ran from Takagakure, 1. And boy, have they been fun. The Mizukage laughed. Just like you to complain about a normal assassination attack. You're not happy unless you have to assassinate, steal a doent, and destroy a base. Jon Aza nodded. Yep. Well, when's our first mission? Now. An army of Awagakure, 2, shinobi are moving towards Kiri. Scare them, make them turn back, or destroy them all. Jon Aza scoffed. And what will Zabuza and Naruto do while I'm doing this? The Mizukage replied, they're going to help, I don't need their help. Send them on another mission. Naruto needs the challenge, and Zabuza can teach him some water techniques. I also know that on the jobs I've been doing while training Naruto, he's been complaining for tougher duties. This will be good for him. The Mizukage shook his head. I'll never understand you. Alright, you are dismissed. 3 simultaneous blurs disappeared. Meanwhile, Tree Country border. This will be too easy. Destroy Water Village, find all the money, and take it back to Iwa. Simple. The overly arrogant Earth Shinobi did a flip. Let's go. However, reaching the sea, they saw a single person in the way. The man at the front of the army yelled, if you value your life, move. The man chuckled. It is you who will S. A sword appeared in his hand. It was large, with a red blade and black edge. It had a curio's handle, and a demon bat's wings as a cross guard. He threw off his coat. He had red eyes and very pale skin. The man shuddered. You're that man, that demon Jon Aza. The man laughed. Jon Aza, my foolish counterpart, he will S at his time. As it is your time now. My master wants this world purified, therefore I will purify it. He pointed at them. You will be the beginning of my purge. Screams and evil laughter rose over the landscape. 1.5 year time skip. 1:56 p.m., Kirigakure. What? You heard me. You shall go as an envoy to Konoha and try to get their allegiance. I know of your feelings, the Mizukage gestured to Naruto, about this place, however you must put them aside. This is required sorely for the Sound Cloud Earth War. Otherwise we will be crushed. I know that you are probably a missing nin there, so don't reveal your idini. Jon Aza, you will do the talking. Jon Aza nodded. Well, what are we waiting for? Jon Aza, Naruto, Haku, Zabuza, and Kira had been training near non-stop, except when they had missions. 2 days later, forests surrounding Konoha. 5 people the swordsmen in cloaks were traveling towards the gate. A few Anbu followed a distance behind. They arrived at the gate. The guards let them pass after a few words with them. The people made quite a ruckus on the way to the tower. What was that? Neji questioned. He looked around, and then continued as if nothing happened. Who's there? Sasuke turned slowly, katana out and ready. What the? Kakashi yelled, being lifted a few feet into the air. Yosh! The winds of youth blow brightly today. Everybody's favorite green-clad weirdos yelled out. This has been a strange day, thought Sakura and Ino, in the middle of a flower-clad street and an overturned cart. Who's there? Shizune yelled, in front of the Hokage's office door. 5 black robe-wearing people appeared. We are an envoy from our village. If you will allow us to see the Hokage, I'm sure we can work this out. The voice, cold, uncaring, and full of intent, came from the man in front. They all had swords on their backs, with 3 of them being very large, the swords. Shizune stepped back a bit. All right, this door behind me. I couldn't tell. The voice said sarcastically. They entered silently. A blonde woman and a white-haired man sat at a desk with a bottle of sake. The woman stood up. Who the hell are you? I don't like your look. Nonetheless, I am not wearing this to please you. We are an envoy from our village as a request for an alliance. The man, Jiraiya, asked, and what village is that? The man snickered. Hoods off. All of them took off their hoods. Jiraiya and Tsunade were shocked, to say the least. Here were 5 of the most wanted men and women in the world. One who tried to assassinate his leader, one for following the first, one as a feared Tian medic, rivaling even Tsunade, who had an insane grin on her oval face, and one who ran from his village and, ugh. But the one who came as the most shock was the one next to Jon Aza. Uzumaki Naruto. The one who went missing 2 years ago. The one who had been framed for letting Otonin into the village. He had come home. Tsunade made to hug him. Naruto, you came back. We were so worried, we thought you were S. Naruto dodged the hug and replied, since when has anyone in this village cared? I was always, the demon, the, evil kid, the, son, don't play with that kid. What do you care? What does anyone but them and my new friends care about me? He had gestured to the others, Zabuza, Haku, Kira, and Jon Aza. They are my family now. My friends. Zabuza helped me learn how to control my vast chakra. Haku taught me the demonic magic mirror technique. Kira taught me medical techniques and she's been like a sister to me. And Jon Aza, he smiled, tears running down his face, has been a brother, a father, and a best friend all at once. He made the sword on my back, the QB blade. He has taught me his original techniques, my own most powerful techniques, and invented a new one with my help. Nothing against Ero Sennin, but he has been the best sensei I have ever had. He turned to Jon Aza. Why are we in this damned village? Tsunade had tears in her eyes. She raised a hand to Naruto. What happened to the boy who was going to become Hokage? What happened to the boy who saved my life? She moved to but was stopped by the look in his eyes. The Kitsune child smirked. He grew up, he said, emphasizing every word. The Godium sat down, too distressed to talk. Jiraiya quickly took over. Well, if you want to be an allegiance, then you must prove how strong. Excuse me, I don't believe we got your village. Headbands on. The headband of Kirigakure no Sato was placed upon their foreheads. Jon Aza grinned. We are the 5 swordsmen of the mist, and you would be well advised to remember that. Now, what is it that we have to do to get our allegiance? If it is a fight, don't bother. The only good Konohagakure shinobi are either S or defected. Let's count them, shall we? Uchiha Itachi, Yondaime, Shodaime, Orochimaru, and Uzumaki Naruto. Who just happens to be on our side. So don't bother. Jiraiya laughed. 9 years ago that was true, but have you heard of the Konoha 12? Those were the rookie 9 and teen guy. All of those are Jonin or Anbu. Plus, he smiled wistfully, Naruto. Look at you Naruto. A member of the Swordsmen of the Mist, at only 17. Jon Aza's right, none of those compare to me, much less the rest. Zabuza and Haku nodded, while Kira yelled, you bet, perverted gross slimy thing live, alone, guy. She huffed angrily. Damn, this is annoying. She turned to Jon Aza and poked him. Dude, I'm hungry. When do we eat? Cue sweet drop. Jiraiya sighed and shook his head at her, then turned to his former student. Naruto, you always did have an overconfidence tendency. Jon Aza put his hand on Naruto's shoulder. Do you know who I am, Jiraiya? Jiraiya looked at him. Then he jumped back, his face a mask of fear. You're Mesike Jon Aza, one, the S of Kumo and Iwazami, and the Bane of Takagakure. You are wanted in all but one country, and are rumored to have defeated all of Akatsuki at once. Jon Aza laughed a cold, hard laugh. It seems my reputation precedes me. Yes, that is correct. Now, Do you think Naruto could train under me for 2 years and not be able to beat a mutt, a beetle, a weirdo in green tights, a sociopath, a weak medic nin, a user of shadows, a fat kid, a possessive pig, a weapons user, and 2 Hyuga clan members, one of which he has already beaten? Kira threw her head back and roared with laughter, tears streaming from her eyes. She shook her head with a happy sigh. Good times, mate. Jiraiya muttered. No. Jon Aza smirked. I thought not. Meanwhile, Fire and Wind country borders. Stop it until the 5th gets here. Call Hokage-sama. Several sand and leaf nins were fighting a single ninja with a large sword. The ninja laughed. I am coming, brother, then what will you do when you face me, the embodiment of your sins? The leaf and sand were dying quickly, and no scouts for reinforcements got far. The ninja's red eyes glinted. This is going on too long. A cloud of sand was rapidly moving towards them, as well as at least 15 storm, strike force, oppressive, regressive military, sand zanbu, pretty much, teams. The old sand ninja cried out happily, Kazekage-sama. Gaara hopped off the cloud. He told one of the storm units to take the wounded back to Suna. He then glared at the man, memorizing his features. He made a set of seals, then his hands into the ground. Kuchio's no jutsu. He summoned Shukaku. Distract him. The raccoon screeched, then turned to the man, who laughed evilly. This is gonna be fun. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.